News coming in. The 13th round of the India-China co-commander level meeting was held at Chushul in Moldo border meeting point yesterday. Now, during the meeting, discussions between the two sides focused on resolution of the remaining issues along the LAC in eastern Ladakh. The Indian side has pointed out to the situation along the LAC has been caused by a unilateral attempt by the Chinese to alter the status quo. I'm going to try and go across to Gursimran for more on this. Gursimran, good morning. Give us more details of what really took place in the Corps Commander level meeting that was held yesterday. What were the main points that were discussed? Was the latest skirmish that we saw a while ago also focused upon?
Firstly, Indian side has a statement on the talks that have 13 talks that have taken place, the Indian and the Chinese side, and that have resulted in no resolution on the remaining areas. The statement that has been issued by the Indian side speaks of volumes that how the China is back into its old tactics, because the statement reads that during the meeting, the Indian side made a constructive suggestion for resolving the remaining areas, but the Chinese side was not agreeable and also could not provide any forward-looking proposal. So this shows that China is back to its expansionist policy and they don't want a resolution, because earlier we have seen that the way India put a diplomatic pressure on the China, it was forced for the disengagement in many areas, but in the pending areas now the China is again making the flip-flops. If we go by the statement of the Indian side, it reads that the 13th round of Indo-China commander-level talks held on 10th of October, and during this, the two sides focused on the resolution of the remaining areas. This side also pointed out along the LAC that was caused by the attacks of the China towards the status quo, but China didn't take the approach to restore peace and the western sector of the.
All right, Gursimran, I think we've got a problem with your audio over there. We're going to try and come back to you in just a bit. But what we know as of now of this particular meeting, of course, has been that the 13th round of the India-China Corps Commander level talks took place yesterday. During the meeting, the discussion between the two sides focused on resolution of the remaining issues along the LAC in the eastern Ladakh region. Now, the Indian side pointed out that the situation along the LAC has been caused by unilateral attempts of Chinese side to alter the status quo and in violation of the bilateral agreements that exist between the two countries. Now, the Indian side went on to say, therefore, it is necessary that the Chinese side take appropriate steps in remaining areas so as to restore peace and tranquility along the LAC in the western sector. Sriram, Dr. Cholia is now with us on the phone line. Good morning, Dr. Cholia. Thank you very much for speaking to us on Republic. Now, Dr. Cholia, this 13th round of talks between the Corps commanders come at a time where we just last week got news that there was a minor skirmish, there was a sort of a standoff between both troops from both sides. Now, how do you see this going forward?
Well, the Chinese are playing the long game. I don't think they want to resolve this Eastern Ladakh dispute very soon. I mean, they have made some concessions because we pushed back forcefully. And we actually did counteroffensives, and that's when they realized that Indian Army was ready for this long struggle, and that they need to back down here and there and make some tactical concessions. But if you look at all the friction points, there are still some friction points, and the disengagement has not happened everywhere because the Chinese believe in maintaining pressure. Because on the other hand, they are seeing India strengthening the Quad, India engaging in counterbalancing of Chinese power in Asia. So for them, it's a bigger thing. They believe that this border pressure is a way to keep us off balance and to prevent, this large coalition of democracies being formed against China. So I see them, whatever happens in the Corps Commander level talks, they have not implemented the quick disengagement and the 5 principles agreed between Jaishankar and his counterpart last year. So I think we have to be wary of whatever the Chinese do. And even if they step back from hot springs, it doesn't mean that it's over, because there are other areas where they will continue to try and exercise pressure on us. So we have to maintain our force presence, our deployments, all these things through this winter also. And the coming winter, we have done it. We have shown them once before that we have a capacity to outlast them. And we have our military has got the high altitude advantage that their soldiers don't have. So we have to continue to persist on our claim lines, and we should not make compromises. And it's very important that they realize that we've got a very strong-willed political leadership in India right now. We are not going to concede. And that they have realized, and therefore here and there they are stepping back. But overall, their game is to continue to apply this pressure on India.
So in a sense, Dr. Cholia, we will perhaps look at more of this, given also the fact that China is battling an economic situation, and the Chinese Premier will try his hardest to deflect attention from there. Thank you for joining us.